All set, Mr. Chairman.
Thanks, James. Okay, I'd like to call the Anne Arundel School Project Building Committee to order. It is March 16th. It's about 5:17. James, can you do the roll call?
All right, I'm gonna go a little out of order here because I did not bring my list with me. So, Councilor Camillo.
Here.
Chairman Woods,
Here.
Councilor Rada,
Here.
Member Parati,
Here.
Member Fletcher,
Here.
Member Dugan,
Here.
Member Wetzel.
Here.
I believe we have a quorum. Am I
Thank
missing
you.
I feel like I'm missing somebody in that list.
Mike. No, I think you hit everybody, didn't you? You did, right? Yeah, I think you did everybody.
Yep, okay.
We're good. Next is public participation. We have
Nobody with
no
us.
one. Yeah, no one's with us. So we'll move on, take action, prior meeting minutes. We have one, it is the meeting of March 1st, I think, March 2nd.
March 2nd.
So I'd entertain a motion that we approve, excuse me, those minutes is written.
The motion, we approve the minutes.
Thank you, Carol. And a second?
Second.
Second by Councilor Rada. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Anyone opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Next item is take action on potential change orders. Rich? Do we have anything?
Nothing for
There's
this
nothing
meeting.
in the packet, right? So nothing new?
No, we'll have some new ones for the next meeting though.
Okay. And then next item is take action on invoices. We have two. One is Castle Booz's monthly payment rec in the amount of $6,111.36, which has been approved and reviewed by Eileen, our owner's project manager. So I entertain a motion to approve that.
Make a motion to approve.
Thank you, Mike. In a second.
Second.
Second by Carol, right? Yep. Any questions, comments? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously. The next one is Meyer for the move-in into the AC wing. That amount is $1,803, again approved by Eileen from Construction Service Group. I would entertain a motion in that amount.
Make a motion.
Thank you, Mike. And a second.
Second.
Thank you, Carol. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Anyone opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Next is the financial update. Eileen,
Okay, let me share.
good afternoon.
Hello. All right, can everyone see this all right?
Yes.
Okay, great. All right, we're doing well on the budget. We're still staying on track. KBA, I need to move this screen. There we go. Sorry about that. So we're tracking fine on the budget currently. KBA, CSG, Environment. Lauren and I spoke, and we're gonna move a little bit of this around and create a new purchase order for some money that's left over on previous purchase orders. So you'll see a shift in this next time. But also for materials and inspections, we're doing well. I actually have invoices encumbered on here that you haven't seen yet. So we're tracking fine. IES, our commissioning agent, they will have an invoice next time. Meyer, we're doing well with all the moving costs here. These are the balance, sorry, the balance to pay. And then even with our change orders here, we're still tracking $1.4 million, so
Okay,
doing
so,
well there. Oh, yeah, go ahead.
yeah, we've either encumbered, can you just go to the bottom of the screen?
Sure.
We've encumbered and paid 9,108,742.22, correct?
Correct.
Which is, what's the percentage? Does it give it me here somewhere? I can't see that screen.
No, I just have
No,
the
okay,
percentage
alright.
on the owner contingency. I can have that for you next time.
Okay. And then at the end of this meeting, if you could just email this out to all of the committee members.
Absolutely. And then just so you can see, these are the PCOs. And Rich, did we? I think we did PCO 5. But we,
In CCO 5, yes.
yeah, okay.
The next.
So, yep, and then we have currently 14 outstanding PCOs that need to be approved, and there'll be some additional others, but we are tracking along just fine.
Okay, thank you.
And I will send this out to everyone.
Okay. Any
you.
questions for Eileen from anybody? Seeing and not seeing anybody's hand up. Okay, thank you, Eileen.
Thank you.
Next is the architect's update. Jennifer, you with us?
Unmute myself and I will share.
Okay.
Really, it's just our typical report. We continue to attend meetings, answer questions, review submittals, the applications for payment and proposed change orders. So, so you will see some coming next time that we've reviewed. And then most recently, the design team has been visiting the site to review and evaluate existing conditions now that everything's been opened up in that next wing. So we review, evaluate, and in some cases suggest repairs and revisions where warranted. But that's about it. Any questions?
Anybody have any questions? Yes, Carol?
Yes, I have a question. I don't know if this has been addressed, but there are no closets in the office area, and don't seem to be any closets for staff who do not have a permanent classroom, such as the paras and other staff members. So I'm wondering, are there closets planned, or what's happening with that?
We don't have staff closets, as I'm hearing you say that. We don't have staff closets planned if you weren't in a permanent room. For instance, if you didn't have a classroom that you were always going to. And the closets in the main office area are a little different, obviously, than they were before. There is a closet in the conference room, a small closet off of there, and there's another storage closet in the main office area. But we don't have closets for personal belongings. I can discuss that. I will discuss that with Jason, with Lou, and let's see if any revisions need to be made moving forward. But that's all I can tell you for now. And there's a few storage closets here and there throughout the building, but not closets for personal belongings, if that's what you're looking for.
Yes, the secretaries are hanging their coats on the back of their chairs and trying to find a spot for their purses and personal belongings. And there are many staff members who don't have a classroom. You've been at Reynolds for over a year now, and you know there are so many tutors and so many assessors, and there's no place for them to put their belongings. So that was a concern
Okay,
Jason he is aware of it, and I didn't know if he had just discussed it with you or not. But
right.
I said I was going to bring it up at the meeting, and he said,
Thank you.
yeah, you're welcome.
Okay, I will certainly talk to Jason about it, and we'll see how we can remedy that moving forward. Thankfully, we're not at the end. We're still kind of close to the beginning. So hopefully there's things that we can do to make this easier. There are some teacher planning rooms, and maybe we have to look at those. Those are scattered throughout the different wings and some workrooms, and maybe those would be opportunities to address closet space. Okay.
Okay. Yes,
you.
thank you so much.
Sure.
Anyone else? Eileen, did you hear me or no?
No, I think you were on mute.
I was muted.
Sure, I will go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah,
Sorry.
it's been very, very busy on site with the new wing starting and finishing up punch list items on A and C wing, and dealing with various issues and just things that people would like to see changed. Kind of like Carol is saying, things come up afterwards, so we will have team meetings and discuss these challenges and try and work out a solution for the future. A lot of team meetings. We're looking at a bunch of things. Also, we're finishing or looking at the furniture. The furniture for April has been ordered. The furniture for August needs to be ordered. Technology, we just got, thanks to Jennifer and Lou, OSCGR, we got the sole source for Topcat, so we'll be ordering those items as well. And we're staying busy, making things happen. So I think Rich is up next, and he'll show you some of the progress that's been being made.
Okay, thanks. Any questions for Eileen? Seeing none and hearing none. Rich, construction managers update. You're next.
Like Eileen said, we're still working through punch list items on the first phase while we're working on the second phase here. So we plan on hitting a lot of that punch list stuff on. We have some stuff this Saturday, as well as April break is going to be our next. I think we got a few more punch list things going on in the first wing while the staff and students are away there. So we'll take advantage of that that holiday time. You can see here we do have precast panels. This is on the courtyard side going in right now. Nearly complete at this point on the courtyard side. Welders coming in tomorrow to weld all the connections final. And then the masons will be ready to start over on the west side of the building, the outside face. And working with our carpenter, he's going to have, he's got some AVB and some spray insulation to do on the back of these precast panels, and he's going to start his framing off of that beginning next week. Again, here you can see this is about halfway down. Precast panels are being installed. The roof cutback was completed, and the exterior wall removal was completed there as well. So that was on site monitoring the removal and disposal of all that material. The corridor walls, the PCB paint blasting occurred, so media blast all of the old paint off of the walls. So that work was completed on a second shift just because of the dust and being able to work around other trades. So our demo contractor was running 2 shifts last week. They did finish it up on Saturday. Our mason has started. The door frames were set for him in a few areas. And he started blocking up the new alcoves for all the door openings. We do have some demo areas here where we've had to shore up existing beams. So these areas have are more open spaces. One of these has an operable partition in it. So working through the demo on those, and then there'll be steel installed to support these. So I know structural engineer needed to take a look at some of the stuff going on above ceiling and above these walls after they're open. So they're available for his review now. We do have mechanicals starting. So we have begun some of the duct work. We have hangers going in for the chemical piping. Plumbing is working to get all their underslab work in the next few days, into early next week. And electrician is his temp lighting in place now as well. Air handlers for each of the individual classrooms are being brought in. You can see one here is at the white structure. Underslab drainage is going in. So for any of the bathrooms in the classrooms and the sinks in the classrooms, their underslab piping it's being excavated and installed. There's also radon piping pits going in here as well. We do have these slab removals for the shear walls that get installed, 5 shear walls. So each of them have 2 footings in them. We're excavating for those as well, and we'll be pouring them sometime next week. Like Eileen and Jennifer had said, we have been having some meetings on site. Now that everything's been uncovered, have some existing conditions here we've been dealing with. So the structural engineer's been out a couple times now the past week or so. Once the floors were shot blasted, cleans up all of the adhesive from the carpets and previous floors that were down and kind of loose debris. We can see some debris. Floor piping is coming up through. It seemed to be set high in the slab when it was originally poured. So we're making sure that we had come up with a solution here that allows the new VCT floor to be installed, and we don't want to have the telegraphing through of any imperfections in the slab below. So working with KBA and FUSAC to come up with a solution here for either V'ing out and filling in where these pipes are, or cutting the slab where we need to. Again, more areas here we can see where there's the pipes that are under the slab. So we'll work through and get these taken care of, cleaned up, patched before the new floors go down, so that we get a sort of consistent final product. Again, here you can see some of the gradient pipes in the floor were set very high. So 70 years ago when it was poured, something came up with these pipes, and we're seeing the results of that now. Additionally, we do have some structural columns here at the outside of the building where the old doorways were. So we had a repair procedure in place through the contract to paint the columns. Obviously, some of these are beyond being painted to make them structurally sound anymore. So the paint was supposed to be a protective coating to stop any further damage, but you can see some areas are worse off than what paint will cover. So we do have a repair procedure now from the structural engineer. So we're going to be doing some repair work before we can continue with some of this exterior wall work. But it is something where it's ongoing. So we continue to develop the repairs on these, getting our contractors' opinions on them, and getting everything kind of finalized for what we're going to keep going with. So yeah, largely we're just finishing up demo and starting some of the installs, and right now is the time when we end up uncovering any of these unforeseen things that were kind of buried for years and nobody knew were there till we go in to do the work. So we'll continue working with the design team and Eileen and figuring out going forward how we're going to approach some of these things. Keep this phase flowing. Any questions?
Any questions for Rich? Yes, Jeremy.
So with the, were you guys expecting to see that kind of damage to the support like that at the bottom? I mean, it looks like it was hanging on by a thread.
No, we weren't. That was the original details on our structural drawings called for the concrete to be removed because the bottom of that column was pasting concrete. So you can't see it till we cut the concrete away. Our contract drawings showed painting of that steel with a special paint that would allow it to be then encased back in concrete and would stop any further deterioration. But obviously some of these are beyond what that paint will do.
And just to follow up, what would be the added expense of making those reinforcements? Are we gonna see those numbers?
Yeah, we'll see them shortly. We got the sketch this morning, so we have that out with our trade contractors right now.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
Yeah, I have a question.
ahead.
The walls that where the paint was removed, what's the texture of that? Is that something that can be painted over, or is it gonna need to be furred out like in the previous wing?
I'll defer that one to Jennifer.
Sure.
She's seen it, so.
Yeah. It can be painted over. We did some areas, we had tested some areas previously in the other wing, and it was suitable for painting. One reason why we did fur in the other wing was that we had so many different conditions as we moved down the wall, just in a little section. There was new block, old 54 block, old 1999 block, and there was just a great variety and very inconsistent finishes. This wing, thankfully, that corridor is pretty consistent, so we do plan on painting it and not furring it, so we wouldn't see that added cost like we did on the other phase.
Thank you.
Mhm.
And some of that rougher block, Jennifer, will get covered again with boards, correct? As we did in C wing.
Yes, some will be covered with boards. I probably shown in some of Rich's pictures. I can't recall which pictures he showed, but there were areas that looked very different. There's that green block, and then there were those patches, the gray block that you see, that does all get infilled with new tack boards, tack surfaces. So that we won't have to worry about that inconsistency. We'll be addressing that. And then the rest is pretty consistent. The green will get painted, and there'll be wainscot of tile, similar to the first stage.
Yeah, so the glaze block in this particular wing took the sandblasting much better. And again, it wasn't a mismatch that we had in C wing, right?
Right.
All different blocks.
Right. And the ceiling is low enough by the time we get all the utilities into that space. The ceiling isn't going to be higher than that green line
Okay.
that you see. So we don't have to deal with, there is quite the, I don't know, mashup of materials and textures up above that green block, but that will all be hidden above ceiling.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Jennifer. Any other questions for Jennifer? Okay, we'll move on. Any other business pertinent to the committee? I don't have anything other than our next meeting would be April
6th.
April 6th. Thank you. Any comments by committee members?
Public participation, nobody here.
Oh, I skipped right over. Do we have
It's okay.
public? I didn't.
Nobody
even-
with us still, so.
Okay. I'm so used to nobody being there. I skip over it. So yeah, public participation. There is no one with us, so I guess we'll carry that in the meeting record. And comments by members? Seeing none, a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Thank you, Michael. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Um,
Okay. Good afternoon, everybody. Not even 6.
Thank you.
Thank
Have a
you.
good day. Stay warm.
Bye,
All right,
thank you.
bye.
Bye. Bye.